Okay, what I'm going to try to do for you guys is show you how to do an assignment. And you can see from my screen in the mouse that when you first log on, it says for your work you can add or create. This is the first time I've seen this, so you have to bear with me. Then you can mark it as done. Those are the things you got to remember to do. So for the assignment, you would need to go to the forms the first time and sign in, and you're going to do all of these. You can see right here, next, which one of these, you can just go through and mark them all. Hopefully I can remember them since I'm the one that made the test. And let's see. Here we are. So I'm just going through and I'm clicking on all the ones that I think just off the top of my head apply. Then you're going to click on next down here and continue. Let's see what I think. So like I said, I'm just going through and checking the ones, and you get to the bottom and you're going to click next again. And then you're going to continue all the way through it. I'm trying to do it right because this will save it. And like I said, this is my first time doing this. This one question right here, punishment for children in this age can include up to blank years of detention in a facility. This is only for the specific crimes or things that we've looked at. There's other rules for other types of crimes that are a little more severe that actually can include more time in jail. And that's something that you can go look up on your own if you're worried about breaking some kind of rules. Hopefully you're not. But then you get to the bottom and you click next again. And here's our examples. So that's delinquent because that's assault. This one is outbreaking curfew, which adults don't have a curfew, so that means it's a minor act, so it's unruly. This one's Jimmy throwing rocks at a neighbor's window. That's actually breaking somebody else's property, and that makes it delinquent. And then this is a person skipping school and they're smoking. Both of those things that are legal to do as an adult, but they're not legal to do as a minor. So that makes it unruly. If you want a copy of your responses, you can check down here at the very bottom. I don't need one, so I'm just going to click submit. So that means that I've done that one. So what do I do next to finish this assignment? I go up here to the top and I click it. And the next thing that we have to do when we have to create an assignment is this first period thing that says Unit 12, caution sign directions. So create and color a caution sign that represents a crime a delinquent juvenile commits so they know they should not do this. Your sign should be big, at least half a page. Draw a symbol that represents the danger. Write one paragraph, 4 to 5 sentences explaining that your sign is a warning against the crime and why a juvenile should not commit the crime, and possible consequences. That means possible punishments. That's what you're going to need to put in there is punishment. Some of you have been doing a really good job doing this. The ones I've seen have really been good. And I think y'all are doing a good job reading. Some of you seem to be having a hard time figuring out how to create something. One option is you can take a picture of it and load that picture up. Another option is Tank did it. He created one in Snapchat and was able to connect that to this. I'm not exactly sure how he did it, but it really looked good. I did one because one of the students had something and they weren't sure about how to do it. One of the things that you should have already done at this point is gone to the document that shows you the different types of behavior and the consequences and examples. It was the PowerPoint thing. You should have already gone to that and looked at it and read it. These are what you would have gotten your notes from to complete that fill in the blank thing, multiple choice. So you can see these. That's what you should have read it first. So then you can see at the top up here, I still have this window open, but I still have this blue window right here that's there. So I'm going to close this one. If I wanted to do this, we'll go back to this is where I tried to explain last week. If I had this open and this is where the information comes from to do your multiple choice, you can actually open this window, go back here, and then open that form. And then you can go back and forth between these two things. So you can see, that's what I was trying to tell y'all last week in our Zoom. You can actually go back and forth between here and here to find the answers. I'm not going to do this again. If you do it twice, it actually shows up with a number 2 beside your email account where you turned it in. And that way I would know that it was your second submission. If you did it the first time and you weren't paying attention and then you realized that you needed to have done the PowerPoint to get the answers, then you did it again, send me something. Send me a note on there. A lot of you have gotten really good at sending me messages, and I don't mind looking at the messages. But that's something that would work and help you. If you realize that you missed a couple of questions, you can submit one again and then text me or send me a message on the stream platform, and I'll redo it. I'll delete your first one and take your second one as your assignment. So like I said, you've got this. It gives you an idea. You've read it. You know what you want to do for your assignment. So now you want to add or create. It's right here. Add or create. One thing that I've had people tell me that they've had an issue with, and I can't quite duplicate it, is by going in a different way. If you go up here to classwork, and then you see this assignment, here's assignment for first period this week, and then you view assignment, and then here's where you create. If you don't go this far, and you just click on this Google form, it works. So that should be something you're not having a problem with. It takes you right to it. If you click on this, it takes you right to it. One thing some of you are trying to do is log in with your own personal Gmail account. The county's not letting us do that because we don't know who it is. You could have a student from somewhere else or an adult from somewhere else who's trying to get in. Remember how we talked about cyber crimes and not letting people scam us on the internet? And we've talked about being aware of sexual predators and things like that. That's one reason why I'm not letting anybody access this information that doesn't have a school email account, and that's what they got to use to sign in. So anyway, back to this. If you go this way, you click this and there's nowhere to do it. You can't, like, how am I going to do this assignment? So if you go back to the front or you click on view assignment here, then you've got add or create. So what you're going to do is create a docs or a slide or a drawing. You can do any of the 4 right here. I wouldn't suggest you use sheets because that's like an Excel spreadsheet. I would suggest that you did something like Google Docs or slides or drawings. I would say the 2 easiest ones would be drawings or docs. I've already put an example of docs on the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and create one with drawings just to show you how that one works. So you click on that. It's going to create it. Google is very slow today. When you get done, you turn it in. It tells you that's what you're going to click. So you're going to go back up here and click on this docs that you created. And this is where you actually do your work. And this is where I see some of you have clicked turn it in and you've gotten a little ahead of yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. So what you're going to do now that you've got this drawing up is you need to insert some type of shape. And we can use whatever we want. I'm going to choose a triangle. The last one I did a circle. Start where you want, and I'm just dragging and holding my mouse down. And I'm going to drag this corner and pull it over a little bit this way. Excuse me here, my mouse is a new one and it likes to do its own thing. I'm going to go up here and make the fill transparent. That way there's nothing in the middle. I can put something in the middle. And I can move this once I've got it. I got to remember to quit pushing down too hard. Once I've got it, I can move it over where I want it. And if you'll notice, when I move it back and forth, there's a red line showing up. That tells me it's centered in the middle of the page, which is what I want. That's just me for my brain. Then you've got it clicked. You can determine how thick you want that line to be. That's what this is. If you can't see here, I want the line to be thicker. And then what color do I want my line? I want it to be red. because that's a caution sign. You could use yellow if you wanted. The yellow, it shows up okay there. But you've got those different options. You could choose red and then try to put a smaller triangle inside of it. If you feel creative, you can do something like that. So once you've got your triangle, you're done with that. Here's what I did yesterday when I did one showing somebody else how to do one. And I didn't actually film it or anything like this. I just did it, created and attached what they did as an example for them to kind of look at. Hopefully they went back into what I'd already done and fixed things and made it look a little bit better. So you can insert, if you look up here where my mouse is, you can insert an image. So you click on an image, you can search the web for an image. So we're going to do one on, how about drinking and driving? That's two things, possibly. If you're under age 16, you don't have a driver's license, then that's illegal. And if you're drinking and you're underage, then that's illegal. So we're going to do one on drinking and driving. So I'm going to search Google. I'm going to search over here, and you can see where this part over here opened up, and search for image. And I'm going to do something like this: drinking and driving clip art. And we'll see what comes up. So you can do like this. This one's one that's already made. If you wanted to do that, you could just be done and choose that. And it comes down here. And where do you get the option to insert selected? Let me hold it and pull it over here and drop it. Did that work? Yes, that worked. So then if you wanted to do that, you could actually come back here and delete your whole triangle. And you've got one that's already created for you. It's there if that's what you want it to be. I'm going to go ahead and do another one. I'm going to delete this image. I'm going to hit the delete key on my keyboard and get rid of that image. You could use this one over here if you're following me still. You could do the cat if you want to do that. Let's see what it looks like. Some of the images, when you import them, they actually have a background. I think this one really doesn't go with what our theme is. It's more, I really don't know what it is. It looks like a little more of adult theme, not like it's a bad one, but I like this one over here, weak. Let's see how it comes in. Some of them don't come in looking all that well. Like this one, you can see see how there's a checker behind this and it's white here? That means when you drag this and put it somewhere else, it's going to cover what's there. You can still use it. Find the center, let it go. And then what you're going to do is right click. And you're going to come down here and find order. And you're going to send it to the back. Send it backward. That makes it be underneath everything. But it's still got the outside our triangle. So you can make it smaller if you wanted to, if that was an image you wanted to go with. And then center that up. I'm moving the triangle. So if I can figure out where the picture is. So for this one, we're going to send the triangle backwards. That'll move our picture forward and we can grab it. And then we're going to move it until it's centered. Here, I would go ahead and click order again on that one. Send it to the back. And we're good to go. We can do that. Let's see if we can scroll through here and find some better pictures of people drinking and driving. So I think we can find something better. We could take a picture of this person here. That's a little too childish to me. You can use what you want. Let's go back to the top. I actually like the idea in a way of keeping one of these. Hopefully you've gotten the idea of how to insert an image. You could go, here's a better one. I like this idea. Send this to the back. Get this picture, delete this picture, and then go over here to this one, and we'll see how it inserts. And all I'm doing is holding my mouse down and pulling it, dragging it over. You can see that. So here we've got this one, and we can take this picture. Before we get there, I'm going to make it smaller. You can see that's a cup that would hold liquor usually, and a set of keys. You can put that in here. We'll go with that. We can send it to the back, go back to order. If you want to rotate it, you don't have to go to rotate, but you can rotate it, click it, turn it a little bit and make it fit in there. And then you don't have to worry about anything else as much. So then we've got this. Now we can, my thought here is I'm going to put two pictures. I want to find a picture of teenagers, and this looks like one here, and we'll see how it imports. And it looks like a good one. So I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to make it smaller, grab the corner, hold the mouse down, pull it. And because the other one's rotated, I'm going to rotate it too. I'm going to try to get close to the same degree of rotation. There we go. So you can see where I've got two images in mine, and they're both kind of the same. Now we need some text. Do we need a car maybe? We could put a car in here. There's got to be a better car. So I can go back to the top, select everything, put car, clip art, and we can find us a car, drag this in. It's shadowed on the bottom, so I'm not going to pick that one. Let's find us there's nothing incredibly cool, because if I'm going to be driving a car, I want a cool one. Let's try this one anyway and see how it imports. That's not bad. The shadow's gone. We can make it smaller. So I'm going to make this one a whole lot smaller and see how I can fit it in there. I think it'll fit right here. Just perfect. Now it's getting a little cluttered. That's a little busy, I call it. And I think we need to stop there. So from this point, I'm going to go back over to the clip art. I'm going to close it out because I don't need it anymore. Remember, I got to that from inserting an image. Now I want some text. So I do this, and I'm going to put, let's say, teenagers or teens. And then a hyphen, do not drink and drive. Let's see if we can make this way, and I'm going to make it a little, I don't know if you can still see my mouse. I'll make it a little this way, so it'll hopefully make it in 2 lines. I want it to be bigger, just a little bit bigger, so we'll go with this. And when I did that, now I want everything to be centered. You can click on the box, and let's see if we can find a way to change center, rotate, order. No. What I'm looking for is a way to center the text within itself. It may be right up here. Align it this way. So there we go. I got it. Then we can make this a little bit smaller. Do we want this font? We can change fonts to something else. We can make it look a little different. We can change the color. We go over here for color for the text. We can make it something crazy like blue, or we can make it red. I like something that kind of stands out, maybe. It doesn't matter. Don't get caught up spending too much time on this like I'm doing. So then you would take this, center it where it's red, and we got a problem. It doesn't match our red. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go change it from red to something that we know stands out over all that red, which would be black. And then there we go. We've got our image. So now we've got to come up with the text that goes at the bottom. Remember, this assignment required us to write 1 paragraph, 4 to 5 sentences explaining why your sign is a warning against, explain what your sign is a warning against, the crime, and why juveniles should not commit the crime. So we go back to our drawing, and down here we're going to insert another text box. And we just come down here roughly where we want it. I'm going to say we go ahead and make it bigger, because we know we've got to put 4 to 5 sentences in it. I was hoping it would tell me when I was close to the same side. What I can do here is grab it and move it. Now it's centered. And then I just start typing. So what am I going to type? Teenage drinking and oops. Still can't type. Driving is illegal and is a delinquent behavior, delinquent. So it's delinquent behavior because it's illegal. Drinking is illegal and under the age driving. We're not going to go with that. This behavior is bad because it can lead to injury or death, or the injury of death or injury or death of others, including friends or family. Does that make sense? You don't want someone coming in your car and you driving with them and having a wreck and all of you get killed. That would be their friends or somebody. You don't want to hit somebody else. You may hit somebody else's family. Y'all been briefed too about drinking and driving. Just understand it's easy to get in a situation where it doesn't seem that bad, but it's wrong. It's illegal. There's reasons why it's wrong. What could be the consequences? We talked about the consequences, but let's just say we forgot. We can go back over here to our assignment. We can go back to this PowerPoint or the Google Slides document thing, and we can look at the consequences. We just scroll down until we find delinquent behavior, punishments, and we can put probation. Incarceration means being put in jail or sent to the custody of the Justice Department, juvenile justice. That means being put in like a juvenile camp or detention center or something. So we've got the punishments. We could just copy that and paste it right in there, but I'm not going to do that. This behavior is bad, is punishable by probation, jail, or being confined in a juvenile justice center. And those things, you could be in there longer than 60 days. So we've got how many sentences? 1, 2, 3. I would say we need one more. What would be one more thing we could think of? I think we could say something about what can drinking lead to. It doesn't always, but for some people, drinking can also lead to the use of other more serious drugs or crimes. I know there's been times when people have been under the influence of drinking and they have done things that they normally wouldn't. Fighting. People are more prone to fight when they drink. So we're talking about drinking and driving, but you might drive your car somewhere and get out and get in a fight. So take caution and do not drink and drive when you are a juvenile or an adult. Period. So then I want this sentence, like I want this all centered like we did. So remember, we went up here. You see where my mouse is? We go up here. We're going to click on the center, and it's going to center it all and make it nice and tidy for my brain. And then I think we need to share it. I'm going to find out. I'm learning this with you guys. It's shared with 6 people. I'm not sure who those 6 people are. All the changes are saved in your drive. So one thing we can look at is we can go back to the assignment, which should be right here. Your assignment's there. Cool. It's already there. It stays there when you created something. So we go here and you look, all changes, you don't know where my mouse is, it's right here. All changes are saved in the drive. That means they're saved in the class work drive. So we're done. We've got it. We've created it. We've got a good one. I'd give you 100 for this one, especially since I did it. So you're done with that. We've got this. We're done with this. And then I can click on turn in. So if you don't see where the turn in is, this is the point you need to get to where you click turn in. Turning in prior to this means you haven't done anything. If you don't have a document that has something on it, then you don't have anything to turn in. I've got several of you that have sent me something back with a blank document, and with something that's blank, I don't have anything to grade. So you can kind of understand, I've been trying to turn them back to you, send them back to you, so you know that you need to redo it. And this is why I'm doing this, is to show you what you need to do to get it turned in right. So there you go, turn in. One attachment will be submitted for Tanya Pinkley. That's my wife. I let her create an account. She's turning in work. And I'm going to click turn in. So that is how you successfully complete this week's assignments for your social studies, Georgia history. So we can go back and look at 8th grade Georgia history. That takes care of this. And if you had a comment like I'm not able to do this, it's not working. Right now, Google is a little slow. You can understand why. There's thousands of schools across this country that are using Google Classroom. So you just have to be a little patient. Some of you ask me about it's not working for you. That's one of the reasons why I created this video. You're going to have to be patient. Sometimes if you're doing this on your phone, it may not be the best device to do this on. If you have access to a computer, that might be actually what works better. So there you go. Hopefully this worked. If not, I'll be re-recording it and resubmitting the assignment. Anyway, thank you all. I hope you have a good day. If you have any questions, I don't mind making more videos, and we can see where it goes.